What's going on, everybody? We are back in the house right here on A2D Radio. This is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar, this big dog.
What's
Tank, Hollis, Thomas. We are in the house. Look, let me notify y'all, just in case you don't know, this is the baddest show. And when I say bad, I mean good. This is the baddest show
in the land.
In the world. In the world. Not the land, the world. Let's go up to the galaxy and whatnot. On other planets, too.
Short pause, hold your breath for the dynamic duo.
Yeah, y'all better stop sleeping on us because we got it going on here. We got good content for you. This is an Eagles focused show, and we are Eagles experience. That's why we call it Vetted. What's going on, big dog? Talk to the people.
Well, Vetted is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and pick a trip. Pick a fan trip, a Philly trip. Actually, the opening day is tomorrow because it got moved from today. So there's a tailgate. If you go to phillysportstrips.com and hit events or tailgates, you will get the Phillies game, the Phillies tailgate. We also have different events and trips like the Brazil trip, which is the first trip of the season. My esteemed colleague Vincent Rizzuto has already been to Brazil one time to lay the groundwork for recon work, and he's planning on a second trip to make sure that it is the most exquisite trip. I had to think of a word. I can make up one now. Scrumptious lessons. That's what the trip is going to be. Scrumptious lessons. But also we have the other Eagles games, and we have some of the Phillies games. We also have a trip going to Nashville. For guess what? Not only do we have the trip going to Nashville on April the 5th, or the 6th for the Union, because we're the official travel team for the Union, but we also have a Kentucky Derby trip. So go to phillysportstrips.com and also go to my partner who has the damn Skippy t-shirts and maximizing my sexy t-shirts, phillysportshirts.com. Go to phillysportshirts.com to get Philly Sports Strip apparel and yours truly, the Tank Dogs apparel, and book a trip and tell them that you heard it here on A2D Radio from the Tank.
From the Tank, yeah.
Yes.
Big dog. Wait a minute.
What's up?
You got a Kentucky Derby trip going?
Yes, it's a Kentucky Derby trip. They just got it together. Well, not just got it together, but it's on the site, phillysportsportstrip.com.
Yeah, I need to find out about that, man, because that's where my son lives.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they're gonna. I think they're going into Nashville, and they're gonna take a charter bus down to the Kentucky Derby. So it's actually pretty cool.
I always wanted to go. We just came back actually from a steeplechase down. We didn't actually go because it rained, but the steeplechase down in Aiken, South Carolina, where the horses actually jump over barriers and whatnot. It's pretty interesting race. We went last year. We went to go this year, but it rained, so the weather was inclement, so we didn't go. But I take my mom down there every year. Mm-hmm. But my son is in Kentucky. He goes to the Kentucky Derby, and that's something that I really would like to experience.
Is that on your bucket list?
That's on. I don't know if it's on my bucket list. It might be on my shoe list.
What's the shoe list?
It's a smaller bucket.
Oh, okay.
It's not quite a bucket where
it's a pail.
Yeah, it's a pail list, a little bucket, or just cup list or something like that. But I need to look into that, man. That would be. I would love to do that. Go down and dress up with the big hat and put a suit on. Walk around.
I don't think you're going to put on a big hat, but you're going to put on an illustrious hat.
Oh, I'm going to have a hat. Yeah.
Well, trust me. If anybody doesn't know, I think between you and Dawkins, I more so geared towards you because Dawkins is the same age as me, and sometimes he's my buddy, so I can say this. He still had on some bedazzled jeans like one time when I seen him, and I was like, dude. I had to tell I was like, so nobody's gonna say nothing about that. I know that's dark.
That's dark. Yeah, you can't say nothing. Yeah,
it was a whole thing. But
Doc came into his hat game, and I'm gonna say this, and anybody can ask him. Doc got into the hat game because of me.
Yeah,
he watched me when he came into the league. He was observant of how I took care of my business, how I dressed, and how I handled myself. And he began to get involved in the hat game after observing me.
Let's just really be honest, is because our hair, all of our hair was on the farewell tour. Farewell tour, and
Mine was, I already shaved mine off.
I know. You came back there next year because now you forget that one mini camp that you came, you still had to.
Oh yeah,
you still had a little pup. You was holding up. You had a couple of cities left.
Yep. I was trying to hold on.
And the funniest thing is
I showed up on I guess it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, not a Tuesday, but a Wednesday,
right.
And my hair was gone.
It's good because that's the same thing that happened to me because my hair only had a couple of cities left. You know how you still holding on and you got the right barber to cut it, but then I ended up going to the Carolina Panthers, and before I went down there, I had my hair cut by my normal barber, so everything was smooth. So they had a barbershop for the Panthers. There's a barbershop everybody go to. Okay. And that's it. So it's like by the time I end up going to the barber, I look like pretty wolf. And so I was like, all right. So now this is how karma works for people. So the day before I went to the barbershop, there was a young man who came into practice who had just got his hair cut. And I told him it looked like they cut it with an Etch-a-Sketch. That's how
you set yourself up. You set yourself up. Yeah.
That's how horrible his lining was. And so it's like, so then I go to the barbershop. They show me what the barbershop is. And it's a great setup because it's a soul food joint. It's a soul food place where a church cooks literally right next to it. Oh man, catfish, pork chops.
The church,
the church. They
man.
sell dinners up until 5 o'clock on Friday.
Missionaries in there cooking, bro.
Like nobody's business. Man, I went in there and I got in that chair and he handed me the mirror. My line was all the way back here. And I didn't even and then what I did was I ordered my food before I got in the chair. So when I went and got my food, I put my hat back on. I went and got my food, and when I had my food, I was like, man, this is going to be god awful when I go tomorrow.
Yeah, when you get to practice tomorrow.
So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, God's will, a CVS pops up out of nowhere. I was like, I'm going to get some raises and exact some street justice.
Yeah, see how the Lord works? It's
like, you're going to give it up.
One way or the other, you're going to give it up. Well, listen, we want to talk about a few things tonight, everybody. Thanks for those of you who are chiming in. Don't forget to subscribe. I know it's not time for this yet, but don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit the notification button, all three, so that you know when Vetted is coming on here on A2D Radio. This is the place to be. It's hot. The NFL owners got together, and this is really baffling to me, and I'm sure it is to you too as well, Big Dog. And they voted. They're always voting something stupid, but they voted to ban the hip drop tackle. So when a defensive player grabs an offensive player around the waist, and pulls them down by their waist. Now, this is like a horse collar. If you pull them down from the back of their shoulder pads, that's a horse collar. So I'm assuming they're trying to equate this hip drop tackle with the horse collar tackle. So you can no longer grab an offensive player who has the ball around the waist and pull him down by the waist. You
can't. You can't. What's happening is, and this is a bit. I know you're an offensive player, so let me help you out here.
Well, I'm sure it has to do with wrapping themselves around, getting their legs tied. But go ahead. The hip drop it drops in a lot of times when you drop your hip, the runner is still trying to run, and you land on this. It's ankles.
But it's been the reason why they're trying to outlaw it is because it's been some like 3 to 7 horrific injuries where the leg is dislocated and stuff.
Right. Well, Dak Prescott got hurt like that. When Dak hurt his ankle a couple weeks ago.
We're talking about Mark Andrews. The damn Dak. We talking about somebody.
Somebody that you care about. Huh?
Somebody give a damn about. Somebody. But it's like I was talking about my brother before a little bit before the show, and he was actually discussing Pops. What's up, Pops? He was like, if I was the defense. I went to the first regular season game and not even come on the field. Every defense in the NFL, because it's like when you look at the grand scheme of things, they're continually doing things to make the offense better and
Of
to try to
course.
protect the offense. But
Of course.
you're not really protecting the defense. And then
No.
the penalties that you have in there to protect the defense, you never call. And they still do them. It's like you're making it hard for the officials. And this is where you get a little sympathy, but you don't get no sympathy from me. You find sympathy in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
Is that where sympathy is?
Yes, yeah, because it's what you pay you get paid to do a job. And a lot of times it seems like they're not even watching what they're supposed to be watching. And I know a lot of people say it's easy to say. I was like, yeah, it is easy to say, but when the camera is showing you a play happening right in front of their eyes, what the hell else are they be looking at? Are they balancing their fucking checkbook? It's like, dude, you're paid to do one. You have one job, and it's like now we've given them something else that they need to look for. They can't even get the roughing the passer penalty right.
Right.
The roughing the passer, you got the highest paid person on the field can't take a basic tackle. They are turning the NFL.
He's got pads on just like everybody else.
Exactly.
Yep.
They've turned the NFL into rough touch football. That's it.
Well, what's going to happen is the regular season games are going to turn into what the Pro Bowl looks like.
Yeah. And you know what the funny thing
flags
is,
on.
And we also discussed this with Pops too. Is like we talk about they're going to have to start watching the UFL, because UFL they seem to have gotten things right. They have an official up in the booth watching the game play by play.
Right.
So when the call is in question, he buzzes down.
Right.
Let them know that just to get it right.
This is what it is. Yeah.
It's like, and I know the fans know this too. Put it this way: the fans wait all year long. They don't want no damn official deciding the game. And it's just like the players. We work out and diet the entire off season to come out there to get our season messed up by one or two calls. And a lot of times you say, well, there was just one or two calls. I was like, do you know what that does to the psyche on the sideline?
Right. Messes the game up. It can mess the whole entire game up, which could possibly interfere with that season.
Yeah, and not only that, Irving, it's like when you look at it's like sometimes it'll take the jam out of everybody on your sidelines donut when the official does that.
Right.
It's like, and you said this before we came on, where we were talking about the 76ers. You was asking what happened. I actually got some of the footage, and I watched Kelly Oubre just sat on the ground where he was thrown, but then he came over to the officials and said, F you, and F you. F your mama and your mama too, and your grandparents. I was like, whoa. But then the NBA sent them that cool letter saying that, it should have been a foul call there. What the hell does this got to do with the price of tea in China? We still lost the game.
Well, I saw there was a comment that never going to get. I don't know who put that up. Throw that up there again, Rob. Thank you, Rob Povia. Yeah, never going to get football 100% safe, but you try your best. Well, football is not safe. You're right, Rob. You are right, but football is not safe. First of all, the human body wasn't made for us to run into each other. I know they're trying to make things better and safer and so on and so forth, but understand this about helmets. The helmets are supposed to be stronger and they're supposed to be better material. But just because they're stronger and better material, that doesn't mean they're safer, because a helmet doesn't keep you from getting a concussion. A helmet keeps you from cracking your skull open. That's all. That's all a helmet does, because when your head hits the ground or you get into a collision with someone else, your brain still gets jolted.
Jolted around.
It doesn't stop your brain from getting jolted around. The helmet just keeps you from cracking your skull open. My question in this new ruling that these owners, and why do the owners get to do this?
I know, man.
Why do the owners get to make these rules?
And guess what? The NFL Players Association is a waste of time and energy and money. They were against this. So what? You were against it. So what? They still put it in.
Still happen, yeah. So they don't have any clout. They don't have any say so. They don't have any nothing. No weight. They carry no weight.
None.
Yeah, they carry no weight. So my question is this: as I said to you before we came on, Big Dog, most of the defensive backs, when you talk about corners and nickel backs, even safeties, most of the corners and safeties, defensive backs in the NFL are somewhat around my size. I'm 6 foot and I'm probably 203, 205 right now.
Right.
They're averaging in there somewhere around 6 foot, 200, maybe 202 pounds. That's the average.
195 to 200. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the average. I'm saying that's the average because you got some that's less than that. You got some that's a few pounds heavier. But if I'm squaring up on a running back like Derrick Henry,
one, you're not supposed to be squaring up on the running back.
Well, I'm not supposed to, but it happens. He breaks through. He breaks through, and I gotta get him down. So how am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to? We've seen him. How many times have we seen him where defensive back comes up and tries to hit him up high? He takes him and mushes him and embarrasses him. Makes him look like a little thread while he's running the ball down the field. So I'm supposed to try to attack him and run through him through his upper body. No, I have to go low and try to wrap around him and get him down. And one of the ways to do that is get around his waist and wrap myself around him. And if I don't get him down, pray that my teammates come and help me get him to the ground. They're taking away. Okay, yeah. Don't hit players in the head. I got you.
Well, no. See, okay. So when you were talking about how do you get him down, you as a defensive back, we try to keep you out of that situation.
You do, but it happens.
I know, but I'm going to give you what my boy Greg Williams, he told all the DBs, you make him cocktails. You know what cocktails is?
No, what's that?
That means when you take his feet out and he smells what his nuts smell like. Make him land on his head so his crouch hits him in the face. And if you miss him, with the count, just make sure you go for the outside leg and get him down. It's like the part that I don't like about it is like when they like smaller guys, you got to get them down the best way you possibly can.
Exactly. And sometimes that's wrapping myself around him, around the waist, even if he might drag me 5 yards.
You're going for
a ride. To get him down. Yeah, you're going for a ride because he's bigger. He's bigger than the average defensive back. So it's just these rules that they're making now are just they're making the game. I know they're trying to do it in order to make the game safer. Right. As you said, there have been some injuries with guys getting tackled in that particular way of tackling, but they're also complicating the game for the defensive players. Now defensive players have to try to figure out another way without hurting themselves to try to tackle particularly big running backs or big wide receivers without hurting themselves. I can't wrap myself around his waist now. Right. I got to try to either go low, and there's chances of me missing. You go low, you miss that leg, bro. If he miss, he's gone.
You know what it's time for? It's time for a call to action for people to subscribe and like what they've been hearing so far. We is that what a word you take?
We got to agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. We got to agree to disagree too. But the call to action, to subscribe and like. And let's get into some football. Besides the owners making our life a little bit harder. Somebody, it's like Weaver just asked, is like talk about the first pick in the draft. Our first pick. What is the question? What do you think we're going to draft?
Well, the question is put it up there for us, Ralph. Thank you. The Eagles will draft a lineman in the first round pick with their first round pick. Do you agree? Whether it's an offensive lineman or defensive lineman, they will draft a lineman with their first round pick. Do you agree or disagree?
Actually disagree.
You disagree? Okay.
Yeah, because we didn't get, as you know, Darius Sneed went to the Tennessee Titans,
right?
And I think so. I think we're going to get a corner.
I think that was stupid by him, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like I think we're going to get a corner, and I think it's going to be either the kid out of Toledo. Or TJ Tampa will probably be there in the second round. I was like, but Kool-Aid, everybody, the Kool-Aid McKinstry kid, I think everybody likes him. They may surprise everybody.
I could say Kool-Aid. Everybody seems to like Kool-Aid.
Yeah, everybody likes Kool-Aid McKinstry.
He's not considered to be the best corner coming out. They got Teron Arnold and was that Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper
and Nate Wiggins, they're all projected ahead of him.
They're projected ahead of him. They'll probably be gone by the time you pick. But I like Kenyon Mitchell and I like T.J. Tampa. But I think if Kenyon Mitchell is gone, I don't know if we're gonna go Kool-Aid McKinstry there. And now that you mentioned it, I'm thinking they interviewed Adrian Cooper and Trot Jr. I think if they move down, I think we're gonna get Trot Jr. The first round pick.
With the first round pick, you really think that we'll take a linebacker with the first round pick? That would be a first in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I said if they move back.
Oh, move back out of the first round.
Not out of the first round. Not out of, just a few picks back.
So it'll still be the first round.
It'll be a first round. It'll be some people. It's gonna be some people looking for something like that. But it's like when you look at it, we look at what we've done. We got Matt Hennessy, who plays both guard and center.
Right.
We got that's out of free agency.
Right.
When he got some DN, we got some DN help.
Right.
When he got a little bit of some edge rushers, and when he got
some linebacker help.
Yeah, little linebacker and little younger guys in the middle. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I think if one of the corners that we covered there, it's either going to be, I feel like it's either going to be a corner or a linebacker. If Brian Thomas Jr. is still available, they're going to go receiver because you can't pass him up because he's got a higher grade than all of them.
Brian Thomas. Yeah. You're talking about in the first round. They'll use that first round pick. For some reason, that's something that when you look at the history of the Philadelphia Eagles,
example would be great addition to the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both physical and point of attack as well as ball hawks. Yep.
Yep.
But you know what? When you look at the history of the Philadelphia Eagles, though there may have been a need somewhere else,
right?
They've always not looked at linebackers or drafted linebackers in the first round.
But something tells me they're gonna do differently.
Why is that? Because of what happened last year and what we saw at the linebacker position?
Yeah, because you need to cover the middle of the field. Now,
what makes you think they're gonna hire? I mean, not hire. What makes you think they're gonna draft Trot in the first round, the latter part of the first round?
I feel like they're gonna move back, and then if TJ Tampa
they're already at 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd. Yeah, move back to 25, 26, something like that, somewhere like that.
And take Trot in the first round. Now, Trotter is like the 4th or 5th highest ranked.
Cooper. They also interviewed Cooper. Cooper's rated ahead of him.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like
if you think if Cooper is available, they'll take him before they take Trot.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a skill position guy, because I think we got some trench guys, and I think in the second round you get yourself a nice tackle / guard, and then how many second round picks we got? I had it written down.
We have 2 second round picks. We got 1 first round pick, 2 second round picks, 50 and 53. Then we have a third round pick that's to be determined, projected a compensatory pick.
Yeah.
And then we have 4 fifth round picks.
You know what the fun? Okay, let me read. Okay, so it'll probably be a lineman.
Okay.
And then no, because then the 2 second round picks will be a corner and a linebacker. Yes.
Yeah. And that's why I put up, or that's why they agreed to disagree, is it's a lineman, because that's normally what the Eagles do. And then you got those 2 second round picks, and then that's when they may get Trot, because he'll still be available in most people's opinion. And he won't be.
Oh, you say what?
Trot will still be available in that second round.
Yeah, it depends on where you at though.
Well, we're 50 and 53. We got almost back-to-back picks.
Okay. Now somebody said move draft Cooper. That's Steve. And then somebody say they may stay at 22 and draft the corner. That's Jonathan Harvey. And he hopes it's not Wiggins. Why you hope it's not Wiggins, Jonathan? If the Eagles don't draft Trotter, I think Pittsburgh will draft Eagle.
Well, listen, Wiggins only gave up 1 catch last year over 20 yards. He's a little thin, but he ran a 4.28 40. He's got the speed.
How tall is he?
He's got the good feet. He's 6'2". He's thin, but he's 185 pounds. 6'2", 185 pounds. But he's fast and he's got great footwork. And that's what you need to have at corner.
I guess. We'll see.
Yes. But he's highly touted, man. I mean, he's no different than than Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid's 6'1", 195. It's the same thing.
But he's Kool-Aid.
And Kool-Aid he plays with a lot of swag.
Oh yeah.
Kool-Aid got a lot of swag. Yeah. Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid. He plays with a lot of swag, which is cool. You know, you gotta put that off. You know, people gotta sense that when you're on the field.
Right.
That I'm here and then I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what's going on. I'm be in your face all day long. You gotta have that swag, you gotta have that countenance, and you gotta be putting off that energy when you're on the field. But he's not nearly as fast as Wiggins, man. You gotta have speed. You gotta have speed in that defensive secondary, because guess what? These offenses in the league, they got speed.
Speed, yeah.
They got speed. Yes, sir. Speed on top of speed at the wide receiver position. They may not be the greatest wide receivers, you know, in terms of rankings, but those cats can run. They can run. So you got to be able to run. You got to be able to shift. You got to be able to start and stop with quickness. Wiggins does that better than Kool-Aid does. I know everybody likes the name Kool-Aid. It'll be cool to have somebody named Kool-Aid. It'd be easy to remember when we have somebody, if we had somebody named Kool-Aid. But I'm trying to get people on the team to win and to win this year. Somebody asked me today, I was at an event, and somebody asked me earlier today, what do I think about the Eagles this year? What am I thinking about the Eagles this year? I said, you know what? I have expectations. I have positive feelings about what the Eagles have done thus far. And actually it's just based on what they've done already in free agency going into the season. Even if they hadn't done anything else, you know, significant in the draft, what they've done so far in free agency gives me positive expectations for next year. But I had those same thoughts last year going into the 2023 season. And we got extremely disappointed in last season for several different reasons. So they made a lot of changes, starting with the coaches, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. They made some changes. Apparently, Howie understands the importance of making sure that you have at least decent linebackers. You don't have to have great linebackers, but you at least got to have decent linebackers. And this defense, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for the defense. At least I'm not. I'm not expecting the defense to be like the defense was 2 years ago in 2022. When
I'm expecting us to make some leaps and bounds, man.
No, the 2022. Jonathan Gannon's defense was number one in pass defense that year.
You know why?
Super Bowl. Well,
because we play complementary football,
right? But this year, and this is what all they had to do was do this last year. But this year coming up, 2024, the defense doesn't have to be in the top 5. If they're in the top 10, if they play well enough to be ranked in the top 10 defense, they will go deep into the playoffs.
And that's what you get. That's what you get with Vic Fangio.
Yeah,
you get yourself a top 10 defense.
Top 10 defense, and the offense starts clicking. And they, get Saquon Barkley working, man, with all those weapons. And that, Kellen Moore gets that thing rolling, implementing that pro-style offense along with some RPOs. Can you imagine this offense? RPOs with Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I did.
Hurts.
You know what I didn't get to ask? I didn't get to ask you what do you feel about us getting Kenny Pickett?
I don't know if he's going to even be there when they make the cuts, when they make the final cut. I think he's just, for me, just my opinion. And I don't know anything about being a wide receiver in the NFL, but I think they just got him for legs. They're just experimenting with him to see what happens in training camp, to see if he has anything, see if he's going to come in and make a difference. They're still searching. In my opinion, they're still searching for a third wide receiver because they need a third wide receiver. Again, if something happens to Devontae Smith or something happens to A.J. Brown, we're not in good shape. We're not in good shape in terms of receivers. So they need to find. I know they tried to do that with Julio Jones, bringing him in last year.
They had Devontae Parker this year, so
yeah.
I know.
In my opinion, Julio Jones, they should have kept Julio Jones.
I know. And it was like I would have liked to seen him, to see what he could do with the full
with a full training camp.
Yeah.
I think he would have been just fine. They should have just kept him. He would have been just fine. Because, he had a couple of good games when he got in and got involved in the offense. They started throwing him the ball. You know, he didn't make any mistakes.
Right.
He didn't make any mistake. Caught 2 touchdowns in one game. I forget which game it was, but he had a couple of touchdowns in one of those games in the latter part of the season. So he started making a difference. And when's the last time Quez Watkins caught 2 touchdown passes?
Quez Watkins is now with the Steelers.
I know, but I'm just saying, when's the last time he caught 2 touchdowns in a game for the Eagles?
Don't bring him. Don't
never.
Bring him up. Just don't bring him up. He worked my nerves so.
He worked your nerves?
Did he ever? He worked it so bad. So
he made a great catch last year in the end zone, deep in the end zone. It was a great throw by Jalen Hurts, and I was surprised.
When?
It was a touchdown pass. Oh gosh, it was one during the winning streak. Jalen was rolling out to it. I can't remember which game it was. God Almighty!
You thinking of
Jalen rolled out to his left, and he was almost to the side.
13.
13.
Yeah.
Who was that?
The other kid from St. Joseph.
No, that was Quez Watkins that made that catch.
Okay.
It was Quez that made that catch.
It wasn't.
Because I was surprised he made it.
No, he was surprised. He was the right to be surprised but it wasn't him. It wasn't him by any stretch of the means, sir.
So what positions thus far after, you know, this whole how he's done what he's done in free agency, and you know, I give him a decent grade in free agency. I don't give him an A, but I think Howie has gone out and you know, spread his wings a little bit, and obviously has made us aware that he is aware of the needs of the Philadelphia Eagles by going out in free agency and getting linebackers, edge rushers, and players who can come in and fill some of the holes on defense. And people are saying, you know, these guys that they brought in from free agency, Bryce Huff and
Bryce
Devin.
Huff and Devin.
Devin
White, and it's like
Devin,
you.
Right.
Also, don't forget about Zach Bond out of University of Wisconsin. We got him from the Saints. I love him coming out of college.
But people are saying, you know, we keep hearing, and it's true. They're not necessarily proven that it's.
Well, you look at it this way. We're getting guys that are 25, 26, and 27, 25 and 26 years old. Sure. They've proven. Well, Devin White's got a Super Bowl. He was on that Super Bowl defense.
Right.
He fell out of grace with them. You look at Zach Bond. He was part of a really extremely good New Orleans Saints defense.
New Orleans Saints. Yep.
Yes. And you look at Huff and Robert Salas. He had a tremendous amount to say about Huff, and it's like when you look at what Huff did up there, they talking about the amount of snaps he played. I was like, I don't give a damn. He even played the run good. When he was in there, he played. When he played,
he played well. Yeah. When he played, he played well. So what I'm saying is, what I was going to say was, and then I'll let you take it from here. Mm-hmm, it's like when you look at what he did, he went out. Not only did they go out and they went out and they got rid of the problem. I felt last year was the coaching staff. They went out and got rid of all the assistant coaches because I did hear a lot. Fortunately, I was able to talk to some powers that be, meaning some of the players, and it was a shit show. Just get the it's like going to the obvious. It was obvious. Well, no, it was way worse than I ever anticipated. I was like, he said it's pretty much just like going to the bathroom and get your toilet paper ready. Because I was like, so now I feel like they're going out to get some coaches who are not only going to hold players accountable, but they also are coaches. When I say they are coaches, they're going to put the player in the best possible position, of course,
to be that they could be in to win. I felt like when we start winning some of those games real close, I felt like it was our talent. We were doing our offense and our defense was no more than, you remember when we used to do scrimmages against teams or against each other? It would just be basic stuff.
Right.
And as soon as somebody got a hold to it and somebody put out a blueprint, like just blitz them. Yep. It's like it was like we didn't counter anything. And then all of a sudden you see the best run, you see the NFL leading pass rusher, sack getter, dropping, trying to cover a damn running back. What the heck, Joe? Come on. You see our DBs running into each other, so you know that it was like I felt like I was playing. It was a game on Atari when I was a kid called the Keystone Cops.
It was obvious that it was a dirty diaper storm.
That's you being nice.
Yeah, that's me being nice. A dirty diaper. I mean, because what was going on off the field showed up on the field.
Yeah,
and that's what happens. Whatever takes place off the field is going to show up, whether it's in the locker room or whether it's on the practice field. It's going to show up on the field. And obviously, things got askew last year with the Eagles in that last third of the season. It was just a mess. And again, I think sometime down the road, we're really going to find somebody's going to say something. Right. Somebody's going to open their mouth. Somebody's going to let it be known exactly, or at least some of exactly what was going on with that team and what happened, whether it was someone who was disgruntled, whether it was someone who was being a cancer in the locker room, whether it was someone who was, being negative or just, having the wrong attitude. It's going to be known somewhere down the road. Somebody's going to let us know. Somebody's going to open their mouth, and we'll find out exactly what happened in the debacle that took place in the latter part of the season for the Eagles. But I wanted to say this. The naysayers right now are saying, and with regards to all of the free agent or most of the free agent picks that we've acquired or the Eagles have acquired thus far in 2024, that they're a chance, or it's a shot in the dark, or these guys are not proven. So, but I just want to let people, anybody who thinks that everybody on the field is a shot in the dark. You don't know what's going to happen. When the season started at the beginning of the year last year, people were touting the Jets to go to the Super Bowl. But what happened? Aaron Rodgers,
on the third play of the game.
The third play of the game, he's down. He's done. The Jets are done. So, Jordan Davis, and we can talk about, I want to talk about him a little bit. But Jordan Davis, he's a first-round pick. 2 years ago, we were ecstatic.
Yes.
We were elated. We were over the top. What? We got Jordan Davis. Look at this big boy. He can come in here and hold up two players in the middle of the field. Look how much girth he has. Look how strong he is. He's going to be big time. What has he done? What has he done?
He faltered later in the season, and they say he gained some weight. But I think most of that was, if you look at it, and that goes to the coaching too. It's like, and it goes to not coveting the linebacker. Now, before I was going to say, whoa. That goes to not coveting the linebacker.
Okay, but wait a minute. No, wait. I want to clear that up about coaching, because in my observation about Jordan Davis is that this past season, okay, I give him the first season. I give you a pass for that. It's your rookie year. Sometimes it takes guys, particularly when they're drafted that high, there's a lot of expectations for them. So sometimes it takes them a year or two to live up to those expectations, or to at least brush up against those expectations. So his rookie year, I'm not even counting that. So, and most of the time with guys who are drafted that high up in the draft, first round pick, that
expectations. Yeah.
They make a big jump from their freshman year, rookie year to their second year.
But what did I tell you about that? Some get the sophomore slump.
Right, sophomore slump. So
this will help you out with Jordan.
Well, wait.
Go ahead.
Because you said something about coaching.
Right.
This past year, he was being fined every day because he was overweight.
Not every day, every week.
Okay, every week, but it was he was overweight every day. But
it's like I think.
So that's not a coach. That's on him. But that's not the coach. That's on him.
It's towards the end of the season, though.
But that's on him. That's not the coach.
And that's why I said he had the part. The coach part I'm talking about is not the position coach. Is what they were doing linebacker wise. Well, put it this way. First of all, somebody Dynasty just said it. The 50 plus snap game. He's a big dog. He's not supposed to be playing 50 plus snaps. This is NFL. This ain't college.
Well, then he shouldn't have been overweight. He's playing more than 50 snaps. He shouldn't have been overweight.
No. You know why? You know why you're not supposed to be playing 50 plus snaps? Because you're supposed to have a scheme to get your ass off the field. Now it's like if you don't. and remember when I told you that people start doing just one specific thing to us. They were double teaming our two interior guys because they were getting so much pressure. They were double teaming them and then moving them up to the linebacker. Now, if you got a real linebacker there, the linebacker know that as soon as that double team come on, bam, he's shooting that gap.
Go. That's right.
He's shooting that back gap and he's doing some backfield bull-loving. Right. We didn't have none of that. Absolutely none of that.
Well, we didn't have any linebackers.
And this is what I'll say. Holding up a double team, I don't give a damn who you are. Holding up a double team for 50 to 60 snaps a game, because that's all. That if you go back and look at the game, that's all they did to our interior guys to get the run game going. If you watch what Tampa did to us in that playoff game, all they did double team. It's called a rub double. But
right. Yeah.
But if your linebacker is dumb, like ours was, he's standing by that, and then double team comes up, gets into his lap. Now they block two. And then not only that, they block two, and now the center could go up and get the safety.
Get the safety instead of the linebacker.
Now they block three now.
Right.
It's like
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What's the answer? Because he's got to play this year, man. Nobody. Yeah, I don't hear anybody. And we talked about this. Tom and I talked about this last week, so it's kind of like a repeat. But I want to get your opinion because you were in that position.
Right.
Because listen, if he goes this year and performs the same way he did last year, 2023 and 2022 when he was drafted, I would consider him to be a first-round bust.
Yeah.
A first-round bust.
Yeah.
So what does he need to do this year to be able to perform? And do you think he can perform, first of all? And what does he need to do to perform? And what does Nick Fangio need to do defensively to help him perform?
Vic, and I know Vic, I love Vic, and Vic, I know what he's going to do with them. He's going to start lining them up in a zero because when the good and the great defensive coordinators, the most teams, the center is the weakest link.
Right, the zero is right over top of the center, just in case y'all didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like so. I feel like he's going to do some of that and do some center killing, and he's not going to have them playing 50 to 60 plays. We got the other guys there for a rotation for a reason.
Right,
to keep those guys fresh for later in the game. We played damn near 100 snaps versus Buffalo. Even though that went in overtime, but damn, 100 snaps. It's like, but you run the same crap over and over again. And I think it's going to be some times where he takes them off the field to put some other fresh rushers on, so that you're not trying to use this kid up, and he'll be able to flourish. Now it's going to be up to him to get the cardio. Like I think you had left by that time, but I learned that I had to do cardio even after practice and stuff, mainly because everybody else was little and stuff, and they be putting all those delicious treats out there, and you go out there and you loving it and going deep, and then next thing you know, you're on the scale, you 10 to 15 pounds over,
right?
And then they start hitting you in the pocket, you're like, damn. But then on the field you can't play as long.
Nope.
I was like, but in my situation, it was a little different because we had coaches that knew what the hell they were doing, and it was more me than it was the coaches. In his situation, I'm looking at it definitively because I feel like it was a coaching situation. It's like there's no way on God's green earth that you have that kid out there for all of those snaps and taking on all those double teams, and you don't run any run blitzes, you don't run any stunts. You just have them line up in a 1 and a 3 every time and getting their teeth kicked in.
We know it was a combination. But we know the coaches had a lot to do with defensively what happened to the team, the Eagles last year, 2023. We know a lot of it had to do with the coaches. My question is.
Thanks, Don. But no, hold on. Now the thing that and you'll be able to attest to this. Sometimes coaches aren't coaches. They have a system that they want to put in. And it's like, okay, so you remember when me and you was coaching out there at Robbinsville?
Right.
And we had all those kids we really didn't have enough to run a 4-man front.
Right.
So I had packages where I had 3-man fronts, and I had 2-man fronts where I used two D tackles and the rest all linebackers. But you, as a coach, you have to put your players in the proper position to win. And I was like, you can't just fit a round peg into a square hole. It's like it's not going to work. And it's like you look at You look at and this is where what pissed me off the most is when I heard Desai's attitude about being a coach, putting the players in the position to win. Listen, and one of the main things that went down was when I heard that Slade was going there to get in his operation, because you could play. You played with a toe.
Yeah. You can wait until after the season to get the operation, baby. Yeah. Oh, well, I knew that was
no. As soon as he went and got that operation, it was like I knew something was up. And then when they told me that the coach that Desai was just not listening to anything anybody said,
right,
and was just like it was basically like fuck y'all.
Yeah. Well, we knew Slade was done for the year when he got his toe taken. When he
fucking incredible.
So before we get to history with Hollis,
okay,
what does Jordan?
What does Jordan Davis?
I'm cheering for him. I really want him to do well because I was a first round draft choice,
first overall pick, and about get your flowers, man. And get your flowers.
And about
hold on, first overall pick in the 1985 draft. 84 draft, first overall pick in the draft. And he wasn't a bust. He played 17 years and still is in the top 15 in receiving yards and receptions.
I'm still up there, yeah.
He's still up there. And they put people like Zach Thomas in the Hall of Fame.
We're gonna work on that this year. But I understand.
I know Steve Strawbridge is out there, so
what he could be going through because my fifth year in the league,
you had a down year?
Huh?
You had a down year your fifth year in the league?
No, just 5 years into my career. My first year was my worst year because I got hurt twice. I broke my ribs, and I forget what else I did. I cracked my ribs, and I dislocated my shoulder, both my first year in the league. So I missed, each time I did that, I missed 4 games. So I only played half the season that year.
Okay.
That was my worst year, my first 5 years. I wasn't putting up big numbers because I wasn't really a receiver. We didn't really throw the ball. But Chris Collinsworth, I was getting in trouble off the field. So that's why Chris Collinsworth said that I was a first round bust. So I understand.
The funny part is Chris Collinsworth tried to talk shit about T.O.
He tried to talk junk about everybody.
No, but then he had to do it. He was trying to do an interview with T.O. And
he tried to do an interview with me after that too, and I wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah, T.O. slapped him. T.O. walked right by. Was like, "How you doing, Terrell?" He's like, "Man, get out of my face."
Yep, same. He tried to ask me for an interview. I'm like, "Man, I ain't talking to you."
Because you land-based somebody and then think they're supposed to talk to you, old punk ass.
So I know what it's like to be considered that, having been a first round pick. You don't want that for him. You don't want that for him. So what is it that he needs to do this offseason so that he can come in here and shake the house? Is that best for him for them to put him over the center and let him deal with one guy and try to fight off another guy, another guard if he tries to come and double him up, or is he a two gap or double gapper?
Well, no, I think he's
a gapper. I should say.
It's like, I think he's a man destroyer. It's like you have to find out.
But you got to put him in a position to
exactly. But around the center is where he needs to be. Around the center, between the center and the guards is where he needs to be. Inside half of the guards, but
not two gapping.
No, only if you have to. If you have to. And it's like, I think the one thing I think that Vic Fangio is going to get out of them is his ability to have some freedom on the inside to destroy them and stop them from doing some of the schemes. Because it was funny because when they traded me to the Saints, the first year I played nose guard and nose guard only, and I was destroying blocks. I'm talking about destroy, like the zone scheme. I was killing it.
That's because you were straight over the center, right? You were hit up over the center.
Exactly. Yeah. So then they started running blocking schemes to combat what I was doing. I was like, oh shit. So I had to. It was like the they call it a trick scoop. It's like where they act like they scooping you, and then the center kind of pushes me. Because they want the guard to get me.
Right.
So then it was this other one where they fake double teaming me, where they would come off the ball real hard, and they knew that because you remember Mike Turkovic?
Yes.
Turco taught me to what they call to trick fuck the double team, is where I fake like I go to a knee and come back up.
I was gonna say, I saw you like spin down. You go down almost like on your butt.
Yeah,
and spin. Yeah.
yeah. But then they started slamming me real hard with the guard. But then the guard and I go down. But then the guard would go up to the real
Yeah.
quick.
And you're down.
So what I developed was when I knew the places they were running that out of. So when I would get in the gap, and then when I saw the guard trying to come down, I would slam it to the guard and knock the crap out of him. But my defensive coordinator sometimes with those formations, he would make it to where I had a G stunt. A G stunt meant that I was doing a slant move, which is called a nose stunt, but I was doing it around the guard.
Mm-hmm.
So say I'm lined up in the gap in the left side gap. And the guard that's to my immediate left. If I'm on the left side, I have a stunt where I slap swim and go around to the B gap.
Okay.
So if they're doing that, so I think that we have a coach now that's going to get the best out of him. And I've seen him, and he's doing some workouts and stuff to get his weight down. I said I was going to talk to him about doing cardio after practice. Because I think, and this is what I love.
He needs to be doing cardio now during the off season.
He's doing some stuff
so that he can do. So
he's doing some stuff
cardio
now. No, I'm talking about. But this is for. I'm saying I was going to give him a little bit of a regiment that the years we was going to all the deep in the playoffs and the year we finally went to the Super Bowl, the defensive ends were running after practice, especially during the playoff time.
Right.
And they was like they end up not making me. They was like, we think you should be out here with us because we're not going nowhere without you. So I think some of the players are going to have to kind of guilt trip him or push his happy ass out there. It's like when you play in the pros, it's not like in college or high school because you have to be in shape. That's your job.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's his job. You're a professional. He should be out there doing what he needs to do to make sure that he can be on the field and be at the weight that he's supposed to be and make sure that he's in shape and capable of playing however many plays he needs to play. I don't care if he plays 100 plays. I know that wears them down, wears big guys down like that. But if you have to go a game where you got to play 100 plays, you should be in shape enough to play 100 plays. That's my opinion.
I don't know how much you're going to get out of me for 100 plays, but
I mean, but when I trained during the off season,
I weigh you by 100, almost 200 pounds, man.
Yeah, but I train.
But I train like you train.
Listen to me. Nobody runs more on the field. Nobody runs more than wide receivers. We run to the huddle, we run from the huddle outside, then we got to run to catch the defensive back, then run back to the huddle. Nobody runs more than us. I always trained.
Who gets hit the most?
Y'all get hit the most, but I run.
And then as a defensive lineman, if you catch the ball and you still running, guess who's got to chase you?
That's you chase. That's right. But I still run all that way.
Guess who sets the huddle?
That's all right. But still,
set the huddle.
We still run more than everybody else. Here's the thing about it. I always trained to play for 5 quarters. I always expected when I went out in the field, if I have to play 5, I always expected to be ready to be playing 5 quarters, not 4 quarters, 5 quarters. If a game ended, somebody was ahead after 4 quarters, cool. But I was always ready for 5 quarters of football. Always.
Okay. So we got Don saying Milton Williams might take Jordan Davis' spot.
Ooh.
No, the thing. This is the thing too.
And Milton Williams is getting better. He's showing improvement. Yes, he is.
But this is what I was going to get to. Now you have a different set of coaches that didn't draft. A different set of coaches, all defensive coaches that didn't draft Jordan Davis.
Hello.
So it's going to right now. Jordan is penciled in.
I mean, Sirianni was there when they drafted.
Yes, but the defensive coaches were not.
Right. So, hello.
But Jordan needs to come on.
He needs to step it up big time this year because he has literally been absolutely invisible, silent. He has not made a difference whatsoever. Not even a small inclining at all.
In a base 4-man front, Williams will absolutely be next to Carter. I don't know about that dynasty because you still need that nose guard in there to take up the middle.
So are they going to be
still need a
4-3
center
this
killer.
year? Or are they going to be 3-4?
I think there'll be multiple front.
Multiple? They'll switch it up. Okay,
Multiple front. Yeah.
that makes
And
sense.
it's based, and it's going to be based on what. See, you'll see real game planning now.
Mhm.
That's what it's like. You have to game plan.
Right.
We
right.
were just our coaching staff last year was just throwing shit against the wall and seeing if it stuck.
Well, they didn't know what they were doing last
You
year.
ready? You ready for some history, man?
Yeah, give us some history from y'all. Everybody, listen. Get your ears ready, your eyes ready. Get ready to be enlightened because it's time for history with Hollis.
God, history with Hollis is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and book one of our illustrious events. We have tailgates, we have trips. Check out and Irv didn't know this. We have the trip to Nashville and going to the Kentucky Derby.
Well,
And
yeah, I know now.
Yeah, you know now. And we also have a trip to Nashville with the Philadelphia Union coming up. And we have the Phillies tomorrow. I'll be at the tailgate tomorrow. There's still a few spots left. So go and check that out and get my shirt on phillysportshirts.com. Today is March the 28th. It's the 88th day of the year. There's 278 of these suckers left.
That's all? That's all?
Yeah, 278 left, right?
That's not a lot.
There's not a lot. I know. Today's national holiday. Today's national holidays is Children's Picture Book Day, and then picture book. I've done this before. I've done the children's picture book thing. You go and you read to the kindergarten first and first graders, and you show them the picture of the book. Oh,
did you let the first graders pull on your beard?
Only when I was Santa Claus.
Good answer.
Only today is also Edie's Pie Day. You remember Edie's brand?
Edie's, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Edie's Pie Day.
Yeah, Edie's pies are good.
It's Monday, Thursday.
A what?
Am I saying that correctly? Monday, Thursday?
Mundane.
Mundane. I thought it was Mundane Thursday.
Yeah, Mundane Thursday.
Mundane Thursday. Yes. It's today. I think I got a tidbit for that too later on in this. Today is also Black Forest Cake Day.
A what?
Black Forest cake is delicious. Trust me. Chocolate
Black
cake,
Forest cake.
Yes, chocolate cake with like some cream and some strawberries and a whole bunch of other delicious stuff. It's also Hot Tub Day.
Lord have mercy.
It's something on a stick, food on a stick day, like corn dogs.
Wow.
And it's also Piano Day.
All right, I like that.
Yes, we got, and so in the event area is 1796, the Bethel African Methodist Church of Philadelphia.
Wow.
And it's the first United States African church.
Really?
Yes, it's in Philadelphia.
In Philly, wow.
1796.
Nice. Wow.
1797 for all of those who enjoy doing laundry. Nathaniel Briggs of New Hampshire, he patents a washing machine. In 1866, the very first ambulance goes into service.
Mm-hmm.
In 1881, the greatest show on earth with
Ringling Barnum Bailey Circus.
Yes, P.T. Barnum and James Anthony Bailey. P.T. Barnum did own the biggest whorehouse in New York City. That's
he did what?
Story.
He did what?
He owned the biggest brothel.
I didn't know that, man. Wow.
He owned the building.
Wow.
In 1885, the United States Salvation Army officially organized. 1922, the very first microfilm device was introduced. 1963, we had the AFL's New York Titans became the New York Jets. 1972, damn. Will Chamberlain played his last game in 1972.
Wow.
Wow. In 1990, Michael Jordan scores 69 points.
On today?
Yeah.
Wow.
He scored for the fourth time. He scored 60 plus points in the game. In 1990, the United States President George H.W. Bush posthumously awards Jesse Owens the Congressional Gold Medal. This was, I guess, this was an apology for the president when Jesse Owens won the 4 gold medals against Hitler, who was so pissed that he didn't even put his medal on him. That the then president did not even shake Jesse Owens' hands. And this is the other part too. 2013, Pope Francis, he becomes the very first pope. What did he do on the mundane Thursday?
On the mundane Thursday, I don't know what he did. What did
He
Pope
washed.
do?
He was the very first pope to wash women's feet.
Oh, he washed. Okay, woman's feet. Okay.
Yeah, because normally they wash his feet or something of
Right,
that nature.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, he was the very first pope to wash women's feet.
Servant. He got a
Yes.
servant spirit. Yes.
Yes. In 2022, Will Smith issues an apology to Chris Rock on Instagram.
It was today in 2022. Was that
Yeah.
2 years? Was that 2 years ago? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That went by
Open
fast.
hand slap to the mouth.
Yeah, he jacked him up, man.
I got some birthdays here for you. 1905, we have Marlon Perkins. He was a part of my childhood. He was the host of Mutual Omaha's A Wild Kingdom.
Wow, I used to love that, man.
Yes, the host Marlon Perkins.
Yeah.
He was born today. 1941, Charles Ray McCoy. He was the harmonica player on Hee Haw. It was a show I used to watch as a kid.
Okay, I watch Hee Haw. Yeah, I've seen.
You remember the show White Shadow? Ken Howard.
Yes, the White Shadow. Yeah.
The rest of soul, Ken Howard, and a friend of the show, Rick Berry, 1944. I don't know if you know Rick Berry. He did the grandma style free throw shooting, the highest free throw shooting.
Oh, Rick Berry was he shot free throws underhand.
Yeah, grandma style.
Yeah, he's a basketball player. Yeah,
I love Rick Berry.
Yeah.
Also, 1948 actress Diane Weiss. She was the mom in The Lost Boys and Parenthood. 1955, Reba McEntire.
Mm-hmm. Reba.
Yes. 1958, your friend and mine, Orange Juice Jones.
Juice Jones.
I saw you and him walking in the ring. 1963, Bernice King, the daughter of MLK. 1966, the most hated Jason Garrett. I had to put that in here because he's hated now he was hated as a player, a coach, and now as an announcer. 1966, Salt from Salt and Pepper.
Oh, all right.
One of my favorite actors today is Vince Vaughn's birthday, 1970.
Mm-hmm.
1981, actress Julia Stiles. And in 1986, we have Jaquan, who sings the song Tipsy from my hometown, St. Louis, and singer Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Yes, History with Hollis is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and book yourself a trip or an event, or actually like Irving's going to do. He's going to check out the
Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby, baby.
Yes, sir. Get them
going, baby. You can gamble now because you can gamble now without any transgressions.
Why? Because it's legal.
Yeah. What did you think about that Otani thing where the guy stole $4.5 million from him?
The who?
The interpreter. I got to bring you up to speed on that.
Yeah. What was that to have? I've been watching. I've been trying. I wanted to not shout out,
okay,
but let the people know prayers and condolences to those who were involved in that whole bridge going down in Maryland,
right?
And those who lost loved ones. Man, that was just a crazy tragedy. That's unbelievable how that whole thing went down, literally. And you would think something like that with modern technology, you would think something like that wouldn't happen. But man, that was just very, very extremely tragic. And
I got
just prayers going out to all the family members.
Prayers going out. I'm gonna let you wrap it up because I'm gonna take a whiz.
Okay, yo, we out. Big dog gotta go, y'all. So we're out of here. A2D Radio. This is Vetted. My gosh. He couldn't wait any longer. This is Vetted. We'll be back. Actually, our show next week will be on Saturday. Saturday at 8:15. It's my wife's birthday next week, so I'm busy all week long. Listen, I don't care what you say. I got to take care of the wife. So, we'll see you next Saturday, 8:15, right here on A2D Radio. This is Vetted.
I just got back.
You just got back?
Yeah, I just got back.
That was quick, bro.
Right, it's right there. So.
Oh, okay. My gosh, that's cool. You're fast.
Yeah, it was. I had been waiting for a minute. I was like, oh man, here we go again. As you get older, you can't hold your bladder like you. So.
Well, I know I'm 61. You can't listen. You can't walk past the bathroom and don't trust a fart.
Well, the one thing that I have learned in this this old tender age here is when I leave the house to go on a trip, use the bathroom, even if I don't have to.
You're supposed to do that as a kid.
Well, no, but
You're supposed to do that all the time. I don't care if you're old or young. You're supposed to go to the bathroom before you leave the house if you're going on the trip, no matter whether you have to go or not.
Because as soon as you get to the car, you don't have to go. It happens all the time.
Listen, y'all, I'm going to say it again. A2D Radio, this is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar, this big dog Hollis Thomas over there. We'll be back next Saturday, 8:15, right here, A2D Radio. We'll see y'all. Go Birds.
Go Birds.